Cinematic video or professional good looking video. You know, to make it, you need a 4K cinema camera, prime lenses, professional lights, tripod, LED, filters, light reflect gimbal, shotgun mic. What if I tell you you don't require any of these things to make a cinematic video? In this video, I'm going to tell you 9 simple ways to make a cinematic video. So let's get started. Lighting. Lighting plays a very important role in making a cinematic video. There are 2 videos over here. These are made in Blender just for prototype. They resemble the exact scenario and situation like in the real life. Which one is more pleasing? The right one, right? Simple and easy way to get that look is to have 3 minimal lights. First is the key light, which is 45-degree angle to the camera, which creates shadows on the opposite side of the subject, giving it dimension and depth. The second one is the fill light. As the name says, it literally fills the light on the opposite side of the key light and tries to make it lit. The ratio is low. That means the exposure of the fill light is comparatively less than the key light, making it more dynamic. The fill light isn't always a light. It can be a reflector, a bounce cut, a wall, or anything that bounces back some light onto the subject to fill in the shadows. The last one is the backlight, and also as the name says, it lights up your background. This creates a rim of light or outline around the head that pushes the subject away from the background and gives a sense of depth. This light can be in the shot, unlike the others which are out of sight of the camera. The light can be anything like a lamp or a LED sign, but it should be faded and not blown out and blasting in the viewer's eyes. Second, always shoot in RAW. Every filmmaker or photographer you ask, they would always suggest you to shoot in RAW or flat. This is because RAW files captures very low contrast and makes it easier to color correct and color grade in the post-production without pixelating your videos and still getting that perfect cinema look. Third, create depth. Using a shallow depth of field or aperture while shooting allows you to blur your background or the foreground, creating a depth. It is marked by the F number. So, the lower your F number is, the more blurry your background will look, and the higher your F number is, the more clear your background will look. Fourth, storyboard. Storyboard may sound very useless to some, but it can create your videos better than you expected. You see, making a storyboard while brainstorming helps you to shoot the exact way you thought of rather than going for the shoot empty mind. This makes your videos come out as you thought of. A good storyboard can include a camera movement, scene change, framing, and much more. Fifth, stabilization. Using a tripod for the entire video may make it look clean, but it will also make it boring. And while shooting in handle or freestyle makes more fun to watch and tries to actually feel like you are in the scene. But shooting freestyle makes it shaky and sometimes unpleasant to watch, no matter how good your script is. And that's where gimbal comes in. Using a gimbal will give you a very smooth look with the style of handle. No matter how much the cameraman moves, the camera always stays balanced the entire time, making it look clean and fun to watch. Alternatively, if you don't have a gimbal, you can still get the stabilized and smooth look even while shooting handheld. To do so, try to minimize shaking your camera the lowest, and then in the post-production, from your favorite video editing software, add the stabilize effect. This will make your video more professional. 6. SFX or sound effects. Sound effects play a very vital role in making a cinematic video. SFX or sound effects makes a video look more dramatic. Using them in between transitions makes it smoother. Here is a comparison of with and without sound effects. It is good but not powerful. Now have a look at this. Epic, right? It makes the video more dramatic and feels like you are actually inside the scene. 7th, color grading or LUTs. After good color correction, you will definitely require a perfect color grade, which will make your video pop and natural. Color grading refers in making adjustments to your videos by changing hues, luminance, saturation, etc. until you get the right one you need. This will make your videos more natural and perfect according to your requirements. Here is a comparison of with and without color grading. Notice how colors have more dynamic range and look more professional than earlier. 8. Shoot in 24 FPS. FPS, which is frames per second, refers how many frames you capture within a second. So for high FPS like 120 FPS, it will capture 120 different frames and thus reduce less motion blur and could run smoothly when slowed down. While less FPS like 30 FPS will make a video have motion blur and when slowed down it could be a little glitchy. Most of the countries use 25 FPS and others use 30 FPS, but the standard cinema FPS is 24 frames per second. 24 FPS has the right amount of motion blur and frames. This frame rate is being used from the early days of cinema. 9th. Cinema bars. Most of you have seen these black bars on top and bottom of your screen while watching a movie or some cinematic video. These are called cinema bars and is specifically used to make the viewer more focused to the drama. Adding these bars to your video will make it look more professional. You can add this by getting a cinema bars PNG or crop the video as shown. So that's it. These are the 9 ways by which you can transform your boring video into a professional cinematic video. If you liked it, make sure to like, subscribe and share for more amazing content like this. Till then, have fun. Thank you.